Hi folks, welcome to my Pit Retro Journal. This is a quick clip, 5 minutes or less. Just last month I did a bunch of videos for the Amiga for the month of May for the hashtag Amiga event, and I had a lot of fun doing it. And I did do a short video where I did a couple of quick hardware hacks. One was I had to fix the connector to the Amiga because I 3D printed it and it was coming apart. I tried to 3D print new ones and it was unsuccessful. But the other fix I was doing is I actually took my keyboard apart and I was kind of trying to clean contacts because some of them weren't working. And I'm going to just try to clean the contacts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's this one. And I thought that fixed it. And, I know it was odd because it was 3 keys, not just one, but I kind of figured maybe some liquid got in here because it wasn't the entire column of keys. It was really just these 3. And wiggling the connector on the motherboard didn't seem to make it have an issue. And so I thought the problem was solved. Well, it came back. And this time I took the connector apart again. And when I cleaned that with isopropyl alcohol, this time I realized what was really going on. And I have a diagram that I drew. So this was kind of what the connectors looked like. The problem is the membrane looked like the connectors are sort of thin and pointy and they kind of connect here. And I think after a while, maybe they wear through the membrane, or maybe I did buy this keyboard secondhand because the one that came with it was more yellowed and the membrane was bad. And I found one for really inexpensive that had a nice membrane on it. So I just bought it. And maybe the person just kind of yanked it out and that's where they caused that. But there was really, most of them had they weren't all uniform, but it had some loss to it. And so the way I fixed it was quite simple. I actually cut a small piece off the bottom so that it would bring the point of contact slightly above. I didn't cut the entire piece off because I didn't want to do that. So I just cut a little piece off, and let me show what that looks like. And here you can see it's just a very small sliver, a couple of millimeters long. And that really moved the point of contact back to where it got full contact on all the lines. And yeah, that got it to work. And now it works perfectly. And so that was the issue. And it was, it was a little frustrating because obviously I've spent more time with Sinclair products, and all Sinclair membranes are just horribly badly made. They're this cheap material that just cracks. You can see this is from my Timex Sinclair 1500. Which was made by Timex, but was still a Sinclair product. And yeah, it's just these cheap membranes that just didn't last very long. And ironically, the Amiga actually had much more, even in the 90s, had these much more sustainable membranes. Yet, where the Sinclair product membranes were faulty, the connectors were actually better because, see, they both had, ribbon connectors at the end. But if you look at my Timex Sinclair 1500, it's got these flat connectors to where the contacts that they make, instead of having a single point of contact, let me bring back my diagram, it's actually that you get the entire connection. And so you're going to not get these kind of, artifacts. And so I find it interesting that the Amiga solved the membrane problem, but not the connector problem. And Sinclair solved the connector problem, but not the membrane problem. So if you combine both of them, you could probably have, original Amiga membranes that, last the years, the Amiga existed, the 30 plus years, without having that artifact of having the connectors sort of, destroyed. Now, the one thing I don't know is, did the person kind of yank the connector out, or does this kind of wear happen even if you're good about making sure you pull the compression one out first and gently lift it out? But yeah, let me know if this is the kind of stuff you get, even if you're careful with it over time. In any case, that's all I've got for you today. Just wanted to share that with you. And now I have a working keyboard, and as little I've taken off, if it happens again in the next 5 or 10 years, I can keep doing that and not have to invest in the membranes, which are like $30 plus shipping. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.